Two mass shootings within 24 hours of each other, killing over 30 people in El Paso, Texas and Dayton, Ohio. Here with us is MUSC clinical psychologist Connie Best. Dr. Best, thanks so much for being with us as we try to process these acts of violence over the weekend. It's hard not to think that there's been an increase in mass shootings when you have two in 24 hours. Are we seeing an increase?
We certainly are. The FBI keep probably the most accurate data on active shooters. And they did one large study from 2000 to 2013, which is a 14-year span. And in the first 7 years, the average was 6 per year. In the second half, it was 16 per year. And they followed up and did a study in 2018, and there were 27 incidents of active shooters during 2018.
Wow, a pretty big increase. And Dr. Best, we do know that these two shootings were very different, and we know one was targeted to a group of people. What are the ramifications of acts of violence when they are for a specific group?
Well, whenever you have an act of violence like that, we get the ripple effect. The people most affected are the direct victims, their family members, the people that might have been there to witness it, and then the community at large. But when it has a hate crime element to it, directed at a specific type of person or ethnic group or religion or whatever it happens to be, you get an even larger ripple effect. So the people that are members of those groups that were targeted for hate crimes also feel afraid. Even though they weren't there, that's not their town, that's not even in their state, they can identify with that because they belong to that same group of targeted people.
And we all deal with that fear, like you said, whether we are the targeted group or not. But, you know, when you think of a Walmart, it could have easily been us in that Walmart. Or when you think of a busy street that has a lot of nightlife, it's hard to strike the balance of being aware of the possibility of violence, but also living a normal life. What are your recommendations?
Well, I think it is a delicate balance, and that people initially, when they see these things on television, they're very distressed and say, I'm never going to a country music concert again, I'm never going to Walmart again. It's a really intense reaction because they're distressed by what's happened to these people who've lost their lives. But I think after a few days they kind of get a balance, like, you know, I will be aware of my surroundings and those sorts of things, but then they're not going to hopefully let these acts then control their everyday activities and deprive them of the things that they like to go to.
And Dr. Best, we do see, unfortunately, these acts of violence often. What's the best way of dealing with it? Do you speak with your loved ones about it? Do you recommend talking to someone about it in terms of trying to stay emotionally in touch, but also kind of manage those feelings?
I think it's always important to talk to the family members or your friends or whoever you're close to, because people are experiencing that, and if you start talking about it, they'll say, gee, I kind of feel the same way, or oh, I feel better about this part of it. I think it's always good. And we have vulnerable populations, children, and particularly the elderly. You really need to talk with them and process it, particularly with little kids. You need to help them sort of talk about how they're feeling so you can correct things that are inaccurate, but you can also let them know that, you know, that they are safe, but let's give them some words of comfort too.
Wonderful, Dr. Best. Thank you so much for breaking that down with us. We appreciate it. More News 2 at 4 after this short break.